How you doing, everyone? It's Juan here from SwitchWatch, and I'm back with another review. You might notice the settings are a little bit different. That's because I'm still on holiday. Now I'm reviewing a game called Severed, which was provided to us by Drinkbox, so thank you very much indeed. Now if you like this video at the end, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us out. If you're a new watcher here, then please consider subscribing. Last but not least, leave me a comment down below, let me know your thoughts on this game or any other Nintendo Switch game. So without further ado, let's get into the Severed review. So guys, you'll notice that all of the footage in this game is in handheld mode, and the reason is because you cannot play this game in docked mode. So I'm going to go straight into the story. The story is dark for sure. You take control of Sasha in a first-person RPG light adventure, and you're tasked with finding your family before they get eaten for dinner by some nasty monsters. You take control of Sasha, who's left with an arm severed off, and the plot is simple. And as Sasha, you are dropped into this strange and eerie world full of nasties who want nothing more than to kill you. It's your job to traverse this world and find out what happened to your family. Luckily, for some reason, a monster from the beginning gives you a helping hand in terms of giving you a weapon and letting you know what needs to be done. You then get to explore this strange and eerie world where there are monsters to fight and puzzles to solve. In terms of visuals, with the lush looking forests, well lit caves and red skies, the game's visuals are beautifully realised, and the atmosphere this creates is truly wonderful. The colours do remind me a lot of the 2D scroller Guacamole, another one of Drinkbox's games. The detail of the monsters and objects is great, and I like that this is different to all of the other games on Switch right now in terms of it being a first person adventure. The use of deep shades of reds, purples, greys really sets a beautiful setting and art direction, whilst also depicting violence without it being completely off-putting. In terms of audio, the music was created by YAMANTAKA, Sonic Titan featuring Pantayo, and creates an incredible atmosphere in this game. Transitions used when going from walking around to entering a fight is really satisfying. The use of stringed instruments and the way they are played gives you a real perception of being in a strange world, while the beat of the drum gives you an awareness that you need to keep moving to find your family. In terms of sound effects, slashes sound like slashes, and when you come up against monsters, there's a really satisfying sound effect when you slash the limbs from the monsters you are fighting. Blocks have a fitting sound which alerts you to the fact you missed your hit, and picking up an item just sounds so right. Drinkbox have really done a superb job, and love has been put into this. Talking about gameplay, Severed was a game released on Wii U and mobile platforms. On Wii U, this game fitted perfectly due to being able to use the stylus. It's a single player experience. Let's first deal with the elephant in the room on the Switch version. This game can only be played in handheld mode and not in docked mode. You're thinking, well, okay, that's not the worst thing in the world, right? It is when you also have to use one hand to control the direction of Sasha and the other to swipe on the screen. The Switch's ergonomics in no way suit this method of play, and after 10 or 15 minutes your hand will be left very tired. There are a few alternatives to solve this problem. You can play with the Switch flat on a table or on your lap, which works okay. If you remove the left or the right Joy-Con to control Sasha, you could put the Switch on its kickstand, which I can tell you will lead to disaster, as when you swipe the Switch, it will just topple over. I knew I was onto something though, and I used my Hori kickstand as it has rubber feet, hence the Switch didn't move when I swiped the screen. With the Joy-Con detached, I could move Sasha around and use the touchscreen to swipe when going into a fight. This for me was the most comfortable way to play, but it never quite felt 100% right. The issue with this is not everyone will have a stand like the one I have, and you should not have to go out of your way to make the controls more comfortable. It should just be comfortable in the first place. I think motion controls for the fighting parts of this game would have worked really well and would have been a good alternative. Playing this game on a phone or Wii U is a much better experience, as you can quite comfortably hold a phone in one hand and swipe with the other, or use a stylus on the Wii U. It's a real shame because there is a lot of good in this game, and there is a reason it's done well on other platforms. The problem here is the Switch version is not the best way to play this game. pains me to say that, but it's the truth when it comes to this particular game. If you can get past the odd control method choice, then you'll find a game where you have to maneuver Sasha through a number of corridors in what is described by the developer as a light RPG adventure. You will have to get through 3 temples to complete the game. On your journey, you'll be confronted with monsters where you'll have to swipe the screen to fight them. You'll get an opportunity to also parry their attacks. You'll have a focus meter which is filled with each successful swipe, but you will lose some of that focus if you miss or if the monster blocks your attack. Once the meter is filled, however, you will have the opportunity at the end of the fight to swipe the monster's limbs off. Sounds grim, but it is satisfying as it sounds. You need to collect up these parts to then use them to level up Sasha in a path-like system. The swipes on the screen feel accurate and the fights are quite fun, with each monster having different strengths and weaknesses. You cannot, for example, take on each monster like you would slice up fruit in a game like Fruit Ninja, manically swiping the screen until you cut up all the fruit. Here you have to be more tactical, learn the monster's movesets and weaknesses. You need to learn when to do a short swipe for small damage but swipe more often, or when to do a long swipe to do larger damage to monsters. The fights were the best thing about this game. The fights are short and sweet, often lasting no more than 1 to 2 minutes each, and bosses were also a lot of fun. Once beaten, you'd be able to create armour from the boss's remains. When you are up against multiple foes, you have a yellow circular bar at the bottom of the screen. This will start to fill up when the enemy is about to hit you. You need to get to the enemy to hit them or parry them so you can unleash your attack. Trying to manage multiple fights is a way of making the game a little more challenging, and you need to manage the foes so you don't die with manoeuvring Sasha left, right with the Joy-Con and swiping the screen to strike them. They are like mini puzzles, figuring out how to beat each one. It is quite challenging when you had to manage 4 foes, sometimes more at a time though, constantly moving left and right to keep up with each one and trying not to take damage. After a while, I did feel a little nauseous. Also, later into the game, the fights take a little longer and it just doesn't feel as fresh as it did earlier. It does unfortunately start to feel by the end a little repetitive and a bit tedious, as the fights last longer due to the buffs the monsters have available to them. Still, you will want to complete the game and try and make sense of the story. There are also puzzles to complete, but none of them are too taxing, and I found them to be a welcome relief from the fights themselves. Find a key at point A and take it to point B kind of thing, or hit a gong to turn sun doors into moon doors so you can reach other parts of the temple. You will find rooms sometimes with small flashing blocks which are little secrets. You may find a piece of a heart so you can increase your health bar, or a item that will help you on your way. I enjoy games like this where there are secrets littered around to find. Moving on to value, the game is £13.99 or $14.99 in the US. Once you complete the 6-hour campaign and complete the story, you'll probably want to move on. There is a fair amount of backtracking if you want to collect and find secret rooms and upgrades. These rooms are not reachable at the beginning, as you will need to upgrade your character to unlock further abilities which allow you to get to these rooms later on. Once you complete the game though, there is not enough here to make you want to play through it again, so there is not much replayability. So on to my verdict then. I commend Drinkbox for bringing something different to the Switch, but I can't help feeling that this would have been best left to the mobile phone and tablet platform and was a missed opportunity on the Switch. The control scheme just does not fit the Switch. The game needed a rework, and I think motion controls probably would have suited this a little bit better. The story, visuals and music create a fantastic atmosphere. I enjoyed the puzzles, and the fights are entertaining as they're more tactical and strategic rather than just a manic slash the screen to kill everything type of game. It will become a little bit repetitive by the end. It's just the nature of these types of games. I would say if you have a mobile or tablet device, then download Severed on it for a better experience, and it's cheaper. If you have a Wii U, then get it on that. If however you have no alternative and can get over the uncomfortable controls, then there's still a decent little adventure here, which is unique and different on the Nintendo eStore. This from me then is a 6.5 out of 10. Now if you like this video guys, hit that thumbs up button, leave me a comment down below on this review or any other Nintendo Switch game, and if you're a new watcher then please consider subscribing. For all of our existing watchers, thank you very much for watching. My name is Juan Romero from SwitchWatch, and I'll see you on the next one.